We're going to be talking for an hour about the Windows Mobile Devices platform futures. But really, this talk should have been called Let's Just Have Fun with Devices. We're basically going to take most of the hour just showing you some of the cool new features we're working on. I'll give you as much details as we can, but as long as we could fit the whole hour in the demos that I wanted to do, we'll be styling. My name is Ori Amiga. If you don't know me already, I'm a lead program manager on the mobile devices product team. I own the development platforms on the program management side. That means basically my job in life is to make you happy, right? It's to make sure the SDKs are great, the right APIs are exposed, you get great tools, you get great programs, you get devices, and everything else you need to do to be a happy developer on Windows Mobile. I think, is Chi, Greg, are you guys here? There's Chi and Greg. So if you don't think the mobile devices division gives you enough love just by sending me down here, we've actually brought in quite a few very cool people. So Chi Chu is over there in the corner. He's the product unit manager for the mobile devices division. That means he owns all the development, testing, program management, design, etc. for the division. He'll be able to answer some questions later. Greg, who's sitting next to him, is the development manager for our base team. These guys, you can credit them with creating most of the cool stuff on the smartphone and Pocket PC platforms. We also have product managers in here, so lots of people to take your questions afterwards. Let's get going. This is our agenda. I'm going to spend about 5 minutes telling you about some platform evolution goo, and then we're going to go straight into demos. Maybe a slide here and there just to give you context, but most of the time we'll spend all in managed code, all in features that are going to be available in our next generation platform. And we're going to look at our notifications broker. We're going to look at managed code access to all the interesting data on the device. We'll take a look at SMS, telephony, email, calendar, contacts, camera, configuration system, location-based services, web services. And if we have a little bit of time, I'll show you a quick intro to DirectX on the device. Before I forget, what we're going to be showing you all these demos on is on this device, which I'll put on the Elmo in a second. This is a prototype device. Some of you may have seen this coming out in Europe very soon, but we're running some bits that aren't available in the market. They're mostly alpha bits of our next platform. And you won't be able, most of the things I want to show you won't be able to do on the devices that are in the market today, which is why you're here, so you can learn about what you'll be able to do later on. OK, so a quick roadmap slide. Those of you who have been with us on the devices platform for a long time probably know most of this information. We started off a few years ago with EVC3 and EVB on Pocket PC 2000. Really not a great developer story back then. We moved up to Pocket PC 2002. That's when the developer story really started getting interesting, with MFC working better, with ATL Common on board, Connection Manager, lots of interesting APIs. .NET Compact Framework was available recently to run on 02, but it was not in ROM. And then very recently, we moved over to Visual Studio.NET and EVC4 with our smartphone and Pocket PC 2003 devices and our dev kits. You now have the Compact Framework in ROM on every device, and now it's becoming a really interesting platform to play in. Right? Our next generation of devices and things you'll be seeing over the next few months, as you saw at the keynotes, we're working on devices with high-resolution displays, with landscape support, with all sorts of interesting radios integrated into them, and we'll talk about that later. And the devices I'm going to be talking about today mostly fall in that last category. It's the devices that are roughly going to be aligned in the would-be or so time frame, the Longhorn, pre-Longhorn, hopefully. We're going to be talking about the Compact Framework would-be a little bit, but there's sessions dedicated just on would-be Compact Framework, and I encourage you to go to those, and I'll point you to them at the end of the talk. So let's get going. A quick slide just to give you a rough idea, high-level overview of what the platform that we're building kind of looks like. We talk about having the native platform, sort of the plumbing, right? The plumbing levels, we're investing in security, in networking, in new embedded databases on the device. We're investing in multimedia, MFC runtime, ATL runtimes, which I'll talk about a little bit later. We have sessions dedicated to those as well. We're talking about the Compact Framework as a base for virtually all managed code applications that you'll be building in the future for Pocket PC and smartphone. And then in the application layer, we're really about enabling you, as we said in the keynote this morning, enabling you C# and VB.NET developers to virtually take advantage of almost everything that we expose on the platform, whether it's hardware, software, what's in data, doesn't matter. We want to make sure that you can get at it quickly and easily. And instead of having to write 400 lines of C++ code, we'll let you do it in 5 lines of C# or VB.NET code. So the first bit I'm going to talk about is the notifications broker. And the notifications broker is think of it as a fully customer-driven feature. It's something that we've heard a lot of people complain about, and basically it's the ability to make your application purely event-driven. Right? You want to wake up and do some interesting stuff based on the state of the device, and then you want to go to sleep and be woken up later with some other interesting state happens. Seems pretty natural, but something that's very difficult to do today or to do well in native code, and even harder to do in managed code. And so we'll be fixing all that. And the whole idea behind it is we want to make sure that your applications can be efficient in terms of CPU utilization, battery utilization, make sure they only wake up when they need to, and not bog the system down. And what we're going to let you do is we're going to let you register for rich things such as window messages in your app, see message queues, whether you want your app to be activated from scratch, whether you want a .NET event delegate. And we're going to let you do it in a unified way across all our services. So whether it's networking state, SMS, email, synchronization, telephony, different random device states that other ISVs may come up with, we want to make sure that A, there's a unified way to get at it, and B, a unified way to register your data with it. And so it'll be extensible both on the Microsoft side and on the ISV side. So instead of talking this feature to death, I'm just going to show you a brief demo of how this is going to work.
Hey, Ori.
Yeah.
Stuff is fine, showing people what's coming, but like the stuff that we've got today is pretty cool, right? We've got the smartphone 2003 developer kit.
Yeah.
It'd be great if maybe you could show someone how to get their kit up and running. I'm hoping, I'm praying.
I don't have a kit.
Has somebody bought a smartphone developer kit today in the room that has it with them? I've got one here.
Oh, man.
Great. If you could do something with this.
OK. I guess we're not going to do our notifications demo. We'll do something else instead. That's quite OK. I know what you're doing. Damn marketing guys. So, sorry, James. So we're selling the smartphone developer kit, which is actually really freaking cool, at the store downstairs. I want to show you how to get started with this kit before we start with this demo. We'll try to do it quick. So open the kit. Got a whole bunch of, if you don't know how to open the box, we have a newsgroup alias that'll help you with that. And oh, you're definitely going to need this. This is a smartphone 2003 SDK, trial version of Visual Studio.NET if you don't have one. Definitely useful. Some marketing goo, a user guide, screw that. More marketing material. Oh, this is why you're paying $450 for this kit. This T-shirt rocks. And you know what? The first person who's going to find a coding mistake in my demo, I'm going to give him this T-shirt, which should be very, very fast. So check that out. Score. All right. So let's see what else we got here. AR11 device, also known as the Red E. Doesn't have a battery. Let's put a battery in it. I think we need a SIM too. Do we give? Is it charged? Nah, we'll just probably get a power. SIM card. Try to be gentle with this thing. SIM card into the SIM slot. Kindly follow the shape of the SIM, and it doesn't fit.
Does it work in Europe yet?
I guess the answer is yes. Battery, always a handy tool. Plug battery into phone. Slide cover on phone. Get red USB cable. Don't try to use your own. Believe me, you don't want to do that. OK. We're almost done. So red USB cable into phone. Doesn't fit into phone. Forget it. There we go. Plug phone into laptop. Plug power. How many people have bought a kit in here? Nice. How many people have upgraded to 2003? Score. I love it. All right. Can we have the Elmo on for a second, just so we can see this phone in action? That guy? All right. All right, boot phone. Let phone boot. Let's disconnect any other devices we have. I'm going to let it boot for a second, and then I'll plug it in, and I'll show you what to do. So while that guy's booting, the first thing you got to do, maybe Robert can tell you that, but if you don't run our smartphone signing package, we're on camera. Man, Batman. I'm going to go ahead and run our device signing tool, and I'll tell you why we got to do that. Not in Pocket PC. OK, so the first thing we got to do is go sign a bunch of bits. If we don't sign these bits with a digital certificate, there's no way you're going to be able to develop anything on this phone. So we're going to run our smartphone device packaging signing tool. And let's hope this guy's booted. No, we'll give him a second. It's the first time he's booting, so he's got to run through our entire configuration system that's in ROM, go set up all the settings and stuff like that. We can have it on the Elmo. It's OK. There we go. Can you see that? Try this. Much better. Look at the beautiful mobile operator that's supporting you. That's really great. So we're going to run the device signing tool. And while that's happening, why don't we do like a quick Hello World app? We'll give that guy a few seconds. So I'm going to start up Visual Studio. And if you can split screen him, that'd be great. And I'm going to create a new. Can you see that? Great. Hey, there he is. So let's plug him to ActiveSync. Make sure we can see him. And while that's happening, let's go ahead and do. There's ActiveSync going. Do a Hello World app. Cool. So we got a connection. We don't need a partnership. I'm not going to sync any of my mail down to your device, if you don't mind. And while that's happening, we let this guy run. And while that's signing bits, I'm going to create a new smartphone app. Scary. Give that a sec. So let's see how signing is going. Cool, processing files. So we're going to go through and sign all the bits we need for the debugger, for the remote tools, for all these things that allow you to look at the registry and processes and whatever else. Send down the certificates to the device. And then Visual Studio will also be able to use those same certificates to sign our application. Let's go ahead and add system.windows.form so I can put up a message box. And we could say, cool. So let's see if signing is done. Signing is done. Let's go ahead and click debug and give that puppy a sec. Don't need the output window here. And I think that's all you need to do. Get your phone, plug it in, put the battery in, put the SIM in, get a connection with ActiveSync, sign the bits, and now we have to tell smartphone to trust our app. You can configure the security policy on your developer phone to not prompt, but in this case, since it's the first time we're deploying the compact framework, it's the first time we're deploying the debugger, it's going to ask us whether we want to trust it or not. And that guy too, I trust him. Do I trust that guy? Let's see.
Create a service instead of a
Say again?
connection? Why did you create a service instead of a
Got a deployment error. Why did we create a service? It doesn't really matter. It's a little faster. So I didn't need the form. I just wanted to put a message box up to say, hey, check that out. So let's give it another shot. There we go. There we go. The debugger didn't come down. So hopefully we'll get a message box in a second when all the bits come down to the device. And you're ready to go. Does it get any easier than that? No way. Who would have thought? I bet you 90% of you has some sort of Nokia or Ericsson phone in your pocket. There's no chance you could just plug that thing in and start writing apps for it. What a ridiculous idea. This is a real phone. If you put a real SIM in it, you could use it too. We don't recommend you putting it next to your ear, but that's a different story. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all good. There we go. So we deployed another cab that has some localized error strings for us. Since we're developers, we need some error strings that we don't store in ROM. And there we go. I can see our app is loading. Give it a sec. And you'll be up and running. Even easier. There we go. Oh, no. One more prompt, for Christ's sake. None of our programs after that are going to prompt you. You only have to accept those prompts once, since the phone has never seen any code. Man, James, you're so dead. Yeah. Woohoo! All right. Is that cool or what? You're not getting your kit back. Don't even think about it. I'm going to keep that one. OK. You guys are killing me. So what are we going to do? I was going to show you the notifications broker. All right. On a completely different device, on one that doesn't have 1,000 prompts. There we go. So here's our phone. Tell you what I want to do. That's not very zoomed in. Let's focus that. So what I want to do is build a quick service that's going to be based on asynchronous notifications that are coming over SMS. We could just as easily do it over any other type of notification, but we're going to do SMS for this case. So I'm going to create a new project, and let's go ahead and do a project called Flight. And I'll tell you why it's going to be called Flight. Notice on our calendar, we're going on a British Airways flight 0282 later on this afternoon. What I want is I want a service that can live with my device and scan my calendar for my travel itineraries in any way I want, find the flight I'm going on, and continuously keep it up to date with the latest and greatest info from a web service on the web. Would have been pretty handy two days ago when everybody was stuck in different airports. But what I don't want is I don't want a service that's constantly running on the phone and it's constantly sucking out battery power and it's on a timer and wakes up all the time. I want it to just wake up when an SMS notification message comes in from a web service. And lots of airlines out there will send you an SMS if your flight is late. So that sounds like a pretty daunting task, but we're going to build this in under 5 minutes or so. OK, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a couple of namespaces that are all new. So mobile devices dot, can you see that? Great. Notifications broker. That's the first namespace we'll use. We'll need to talk to the calendar. So for that, we're going to need our mobile devices dot pocket outlook namespace. Great. So what's the first thing we want to do? The first thing we want to do is let's go ahead and go talk to the calendar. So item store, call it my store, equals new item store. And that's basically the item store is where all the email, calendar, contacts, tasks, information is on a device. If you ever try to do this today in Manage Code, I'm sure you are greatly appreciating this new feature. What else do I want to do? So now I want to do it for each loop. What I'm going to do is for each appointment in my store dot appointments dot items. So this is basically going to allow me to enumerate through every appointment on my calendar. So once I did that, say again? Oh, good call. Shit, there goes the T-shirt. Damn it. Who said that? Bugger. Here you go. Oh, this is your shirt? I'll give you a different shirt. Here, you can grab this one. Look, I got tons of shirts. Every time you find a coding, I'm going to need a lot more. Every time you find a coding mistake, I'll give you a T-shirt. Thank God I'm not giving away devices. So, so now I can scan, I can mark this appointment as a category of travel or something else, but we're just going to be super simple today and say, if the subject starts with, what does that thing say over there? I don't remember. I think it was like flight something. So if the subject starts with this string, then we're going to go and get a whole bunch of info from the web. So let's go ahead and add a web reference to a service that's going to return us some flight info. And you can use any commercial service. For simplicity, I'm just using one that I made up, just so we don't have to wait for that thing. Later on, we'll use a real web service. So this thing basically takes a flight status or a flight ID and returns you a whole bunch of data on it. So let's do that. That's all it takes. It's exactly the same like adding a web service reference on the desktop app. It takes 2 minutes, and you're all set. So now I could do WS. Actually, you know what? Let's do that up here. So I'm going to do WS dot, what was it? I'm sorry? Oh, can we have the code on both screens for a sec? Thanks. Equals new, so I'm going to instantiate a new flight service, and now we're going to make a call. We're going to do flight record.
Small WS.
No, wrong. Give me your T-shirt. Take it off. Busted. So basically, I'm going to call ws dot, I think it's get flight status, and I have to pass in the flight ID, and the flight ID comes from our appointment dot subject, right? Cool. There we go. So now we got a flight record for this appointment, and what we want to do is go and update it. So I'll do a dot subject equals, let's see, flight record. What should we do? Status? There we go. So it'll tell me if, oh, even better. Here, check this out. I'm going to do flight record dot flight ID, and then we're going to add this. Let's see. I'm going to add a bracket, and we're going to actually tell you whether or not your flight is on time right on your home screen. Wish I would have thought of that before. OK, so last thing we're going to do is update the body. And with the body, we're going to update basically every piece of information we can find. That's it. We're done. Last thing, I'm going to save this appointment because we updated all its text. Cool. So now 5 lines of code. We're going to go out to the web service, get a whole bunch of data, dump it on the calendar based on the flight. But the thing we really want is this. Notifications broker dot register execute on SMS. This basically lets me give our notification broker an ID. I don't know, pick something. Let's call it sweet sauce. How's that? You can pick a GUID, you can pick whatever you want, and we're going to need to tell it what app to execute when this thing comes up. So I'm going to go, I think we're going to be in, anybody remember what I named this? I think it's called flight or something. So that's it. We're going to tell it to execute my flight app with no parameters. We could just as easily pass in an SMS or anything else. Let's build it. Excellent. Let's run it. So click F5. F5 deploys trivial. Can we split the screen so you can see the phone? We're going to deploy this app to the phone. And the first time it's going to run, it's going to register to be woken up. Next time an SMS message comes in, it's going to go through. Let's see if we can put a breakpoint in here. We're going to break right where we're about to go get the flight. We'll go to the web service. We'll get the data. Then the process is going to terminate. Then we're going to send an SMS to the device and watch it get updated. So right before this happens, I can tell this flight to be on time. A little batch file that tells our web service that this flight is currently on time. Do we have, oh, check this out. Hold on a second. It can't see the device. That's so many keywords up here. Let's reconnect this guy back up. So obviously it can't deploy to it if it can't see it. There we go. ActiveSync now sees our device. So I'm going to send this app down there again. Sorry about that. So one thing I want you to think about is how many scenarios do you want to enable, not just by notification, just to wake up your app, but we could use the same notification architecture to send you messages when your app is alive. And think about things like, imagine you all of a sudden see a Wi-Fi hotspot, right? Then you want to start syncing tremendous amount of data. Like you don't want to do that over GPRS. All of a sudden we can notify you with one line of code. You can register and say, let me know when there's a Wi-Fi hotspot, and I'm going to go do some work. Or let me know when ActiveSync stops syncing. Or let me know when there's no more radio coverage. Or let me know when the battery is low. Let me know when a phone call comes in. I have this app. It's so cool. You can play golf on your phone. When a phone call comes in, you can go pick up the thing. It'll save your state in the golf game, and you can get back to it at any other time. Right? So those kind of scenarios are just, it's a productivity app. So we're stepping through the for loop. We found the flight. We got the flight record. Let's see if it comes back with some useful data about my flight. We're stepping through it. Give this web service a couple of seconds. There we go. Did we find a good flight ID? There we go. Hit F5. Don't need this anymore. So let's go back to our home screen. Check that out. Our flight's on time, right? We can open it up. Oh, flight record. Did I not do toString? Check this out. It's full statistics is what we want. So I'm going to, this is a great, oh, damn it, another T-shirt. Crap. And just keep tabs of who our T-shirts do so we can get going. Here you go. So now I'm going to deploy this app, but I'm not going to run it. And this way you're going to know that we're not cheating. So we're going to deploy the flight app to the phone. And we're going to go out to, what service is a SIM with? Does somebody remember? I think this is a T-Mobile SIM. Let's go to T-Mobile. They roam to singular, luckily for them. So let's do 206-779-1359. Don't write this down. Sweet sauce was our ID, right? If somebody calls this device during the demo, you are out of here. So I just sent, I know some of you are going to do it right now. God, that was a stupid thing to say. I'm going to tell this flight it's going to be delayed. And just so you know I'm not cheating, let's go ahead and send another message so you'll see we're just going to intercept the one that we wanted, hopefully, and not the one we didn't want. So let's get that up on the screen, the phone on the screen. There we go. So the flight's currently on time, and we're going to wait. Hopefully, we get SMS in here. Let's see. Did we get an SMS? We did. PDC rocks. So we got the PDC rocks message, but what's happening in the background? We got the previous message earlier. It's starting up our web service in the background. It's going to take its sweet time to talk to the web service, and hopefully, you notice we only got one SMS because the other one got intercepted. And hopefully we'll give this thing a few seconds. And I don't remember if I told them. I didn't change the flight time. Did I not tell it it was delayed? I think I did, actually. Can you put the phone back up on there? Let's send it another one just in case. Okay. We'll give it a few seconds. I could force it to. Sometimes the SMS messages don't come in. I could force it to go get the SMS, and we'll move on. It doesn't? What does it say? Oh, no, no. It's the subject of the calendar item that we're waiting for, right? So, I can tell it's running in the background. OK. So we'll give that a second. We'll move on to the next one. Did you see that? Damn. Come back. There we go. It says my flight is now delayed right on my home screen. I get to open it up, look at the bottom. I have a new departure, new arrival time. Didn't have to do anything as a user. So the whole thing is, everything I'm going to show you today is about productivity. Everything is going to take like 2 to 3, 5 lines of code most, or we suck. So back 2 slides. So we showed you a notifications broker, and I want to tell you about our Pocket Outlook object model. So today, if any of you try to use it, you have a different API for everything. Different API for contacts and calendars, different API for Mappy, different API for SMS intercepting. And it's pretty cool. You can get at everything, but it's just not that nice. So moving forward, we want to make sure in managed code, you get a single, consistent API to get at all the interesting data on a device. Because seriously, I mean, the only interesting things in the device are really data and networking. Right? So if you don't have great data and networking APIs, what have we really done? So we're going to unify them all under the same umbrella, same namespace, same look and feel, same way to enumerate, create, query, restrict, everything. And this is roughly, a 1,000-foot overview of what the object model looks like. There's a basic item store. There's a collection for calendars, contacts. There's a collection for SMS, MMS, email, things like that. And you just get to work with the items, just as you would have think we should have done like 3 years ago. So let me show you. Rocket science, isn't it? Oh, I want to get a contact out of a database. Of course, you can't do it on the desktop really either, so you can't blame us for it. OK, so I'm going to create an app that shows you exactly how to do this. We're going to create a contacts app, a Windows application. And let's give this a second. Let's start off just by getting contacts out of the database. And you saw a little bit of this in the keynote today. There's my form. Let's put a combo box on here. We'll retrieve contacts from there. Let's go ahead and put a text box over. I don't want a text box. How about a label? No. Yeah, fine. We'll put that in here. This will be like our subject field. We'll send this contact some data. Let's change the property. Let's say I love PDC. Let's add a menu. We can add a Go menu. Actually, let me add a do it menu. And over here, we'll say send SMS. I want to show you how to. I showed you how to intercept an SMS message. Let me show you how to send one. OK, so the first thing we got to do is add some namespaces, as usual. So we need Microsoft mobile devices, Pocket Outlook. And what else are we going to do? I think that's enough. OK, let's bind the combo box. So again, we're going to go to the item store. Great, love tab completion. And now I could do combo box 1.data source, not data binding. Data source equals my store. This time we're going to get a different collection, contacts collection instead of appointments and items. That's it. 2 lines of code, bind the entire contacts database to that combo box. You know what? I want to show you something real quick. Remember that demo I just showed you? This is just to prove a point. This is all the code you have to write in C++ to go talk to our calendar today. OK, we can go through it line by line. I'm going to show you all the code you need to go to talk to to get an SMS today. Yes, it's commented out. I love writing comments and code, but it's still like 400 lines of code. Here's what it takes to go get contacts and load up a box. And here's what it takes to do it in managed code. And 1 line of code to intercept the SMS instead of like 400 of them. All right. Now, don't clap yet, because you haven't seen this working. Maybe I'm completely lying. All right. So now I want to send an SMS. So we're going to do, let's do an SMS message. My SMS equals new SMS message. Fabulous. We got to set who this is going to. So my SMS.to.add. And let's add the, I'm going to have to typecast this to a context. This is combo box 1. Is it selected item? Somebody remember? I think so. And we'll get their mobile phone number. That's who we're going to send an SMS to. Do we need 2 string? I don't remember. OK, so we know who we want to send the SMS to. Let's set a subject. Let's actually set it from the text box. Is that a text box? Cool. That's it. And now I got to send this. So we're going to do messaging store, just call it M because I can't type. There we go, messaging store. Now I got to tell it to SMS account dot send my SMS. Done. Build. Don't crap. Oh, nobody caught that. Haha, no more t-shirts. Okay, so Fabi, F5, let's run it on the phone. And if we can have both phones up there next to each other. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And where is zoom out? There we go. Okay, so this is another phone. We used this phone earlier. This is actually Bill's phone. And is the app getting deployed? The app's getting deployed, and we're going to go ahead and just send an SMS message. I'm going to set the backlight on. There we go. There's I love PDC. We can send it to Bill because I actually have his SMS address. We're going to click send SMS. Whoa. Let's put these radios a little further apart. And there we go. Check that out. SMS from my phone number. Sweet or what? That's pretty cool. OK, so let's stop debugging this thing. And I showed you getting contacts out of the database. You can get anything else you want out of the database. Telephony. Love telephony. Today, if somebody could tell me exactly how many APIs you can call in native, I'll give you a whole kit of different ways to make a phone call. It's a lot. What we want to do is unify the way you talk to the phone and basically simplify it as much as possible. So instead of having to write tons of lines of code, you could make a phone call in like 1 or 2 lines of code. And you can get notification that a phone call came in just as quickly. Now, making a phone call is not enough. You want to be able to access the call log, and you want consistent APIs to look at the call log so you can integrate that into your app and things like that. You want to be able to make calls, end calls, mute calls, switch calls. So we'll give you an object model to do that. And again, instead of talking about it, I'm just going to show you how to do it. We're going to go back to our app, and instead of send an SMS, we'll add another menu item. Oh, where is he? There we go. So in this menu item, what we're going to do is we need a phone number. So did I get the phone number here? I'm just going to copy that. I'm lazy. So I'm going to say string number equals that. So that's going to get me the phone number I want to call. So now we're going to do voice call, C, let's say, or V, equals new. What did I forget? Microsoft Mobile Devices Telephony Namespace. You want to talk to the phone, you got to get the telephony namespace. OK, so now we could do new, tab completion. I love it. Voice call. Oh, cool constructor. Look at that. String number, show prompt. Does it get any easier than this? There's the number. Yes, please prompt me. So typically, you want to prompt the user before you start making phone calls. And now, you don't have to, though. You can have the phone just start randomly dialing. That's great. We're going to do v.talk. Now, what else? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh! Crap. Who was that? Build. You work at Microsoft, don't you? Damn it. All right, I'll get you a T-shirt. James, we're going to need many, many, many more of these. I can't throw that far, but somebody will hand it to you. Thank you. OK, let's get the phone back up on here, please. So did I hit debug? Launching app. Give it a sec. Why does this light keep coming off? Let me hit OK on that. So we're going to call our. Can't really see that very well, can you? Let me zoom out a bit. It's better? Rocking. Sorry about that. So let's call Bill instead of send him an SMS. So do it. Call the dude. Let's call the dude. Confirm. Do I want to dial his number? Yes, I do. Press yes. Calling Bill. And if there's radio reception on here. You like my cute little picture? So yes, we support pictures and contacts now. There you go. That's all it takes. You can make a phone call in 2 lines of code. What else do we have for you? Making a phone call. EDB. Love EDB. So how many people know what CEDB is? Not many. That's because it's hard to use. So when we make it easy to use, all of you are going to know what it is. Basically, we want to provide you an embedded database on the device that supports things like ACID transaction, really great ADO.NET, hopefully, managed code API to access it, in ROM of the device, so you could store data, retrieve data without having to do all your own database work. So does that sound like a pretty cool feature? I think it's a pretty slick feature. Right, so I'm not going to show you a demo of EDB because basically it's just a store. You put data. How many people know what SQL is? Yes, so the idea is you store data, ADO, you get it out. It's not rocket science. But we want to make sure that you guys have a great database on the device to run queries through, to store your data, retrieve your data, and look at other people's data too. So instead of that, a lot of our applications, you can imagine, are going to move over to use the new embedded databases over time. Like, we're not going to do the whole thing in one go. But what I want to show you is how easy it is to, over there, talk to mail and talk to the camera control. We have lots of different controls on the device. One of them is going to be the camera control. And for that, who said woohoo? All right. Let me show you that. So we're going to do a new project. Actually, we don't need a new project, do we? We could just use that. We could just add a control, and yeah, let's do that. So let's go in the form. Let's add a picture box. Picture box is cool. And let's set the image size mode to be stretched, so no matter what resolution we take it, I think this thing is 640 by 480. Let's condense it to fit on the device. And then let's add something that says send mail. OK, so let's go into, oh, whose phone is that? Dead man. Bringing that to a phone talk, just ridiculous. OK, camera C equals new. Oh, camera. Need another namespace using Microsoft. Look at all these namespaces we're making for you. Mobile devices, multimedia.camera. Beautiful. So where are we? Equals new camera. Excellent. Picture box 1 dot. I'm going to set the text property, and I'll tell you why. I didn't tell you why I did this in the keynote because I didn't have time. But basically, I want to be able to get at the file that the camera took later on when I attach it to the email. That's all. I could do the whole thing in one line. You don't have to do this. So image equals new bitmap. Great constructor that allows me to pass in a file name, and the file name is going to be the file that came back from the camera, in which we stored in the text property. That's it. 3 lines of code. We can do it in 2. You can actually do it in 1. Get an image from the camera, and now I want to send this off in email. So instead of, do I have a code snippet that shows you how easy it is to, let's see, this one. Oh, no, this is how many lines of code it takes to send an SMS. This is how many lines of code it takes to send an email with an attachment. Do you want to write that? I can write that live. Baloney. No chance in hell. OK, so email message. E equals new email message. So e dot 2 dot add. Give me that phone. Where's it? Okay, maybe we can write some software for that and silence it. Sorry, I don't mean to pick on you. I don't know too many phones out there without a silent feature. Even ours do that. So I'm going to add the, actually, you know what? This doesn't make any sense. I don't want to add the mobile telephone number to who I'm going to send this to. Instead, let's get their email address. There it is, the 2-string. Rockin'. OK, so I'm going to send that to Uncle Bill. And then we're going to do, let's set the subject equals to the text box 1.text. Let's add an attachment. .add attachments, .add, and I want to, what do I want to do? Picture box 1.text. I think it's all I need to do. Oh, I got to send this thing off. So messaging store, m equals new messaging store, right? Now we got to get messaging store.email account, .send e. And now let's do this. Message box. .show. Look at that. OK, build. Uh-oh. Email message E, where are we? Ah, oh.
That's like 10 t-shirts.
That is like 10 t-shirts. But no, all right, let's just call it. How about email? Does that help? Good catch, whoever said that. Maybe I'll give you 2. Is this going to compile? Okay, who was that? All right, I'll get you a T-shirt. You deserve for that one. That was a quick one, too, because you couldn't even see the event args on the screen. Here you go. Oh, sorry about that. Just keep passing that down. All right, so we're building it. Let's see the phones. Let's give that guy a chance. I don't think we'll be able to see mail. I'm not sending it to the other phone. I'm sending it to my own email account. So we'll give this a second to deploy. And Earth to email. That's why it wasn't coming out. Damn phone. OK, so let's send it to Bill also. Do it. Let's say send mail. And oh, I got to take a picture, don't I? So a camera comes up. You can't really, I mean, I could take a camera of the Elmo or a picture of the Elmo. I'll take a picture of myself. This device rocks. It's got a little mirror on the back, little silver thing, so I could see myself when I take a photo. Such a great feature. I love it. It probably cost like a cent to do this, and it's like the coolest thing. Score. OK. Is this going to send the mail? I don't remember if we have a prompt. I think we're just going to send it. So we'll give that control a second to get back to our app. Error. Oh, bugger. Look at that. Well, at least you know the debugger works. So let's give that a shot. Let me take a look at something real quick. OK. What did I do wrong? Somebody know? Email message, picture box, font.txt, image. New bit. You know what? I think I just got it wrong. Let's just give it another shot. Camera probably just got unhappy. We'll try that one more time, and if not, you'll have to believe me that you can send an email. And I owe all of you T-shirts. OK. So we'll give that another try. Come on.
Did you get back when you call get image file? Is that like a line?
So we have two. There's two methods on there. Where are we? We have. There we go. So get image file, you can actually get back a full path to the image that the camera saved, like the JPEG or the bitmap, whatever. It's just a file path. But we also have, if you want, we can return you the bitmap already streamed and loaded directly to your app. In this case, I wanted to do it in 2 steps, but.
Okay, so you're sending the path to the file instead of the image.
Correct. That's why I was doing a new bitmap, so I can load it from file. We'll try that again.
Why would you send an email with the file path?
So our email in attachments, we actually offer you multiple ways of attaching attachments. You can either give us files to attach, we'll go read them for you, or you can actually stream in objects. So now I'm really sad. That's me being sad, because we AV'd. So if this doesn't work, we're just going to quit, go home, and start drinking. Bugger. All right. I promise we'll get back to that one later. But believe me, it works. Damn it. You saw it today in the keynote. Email address has too many L's? Really? Where? Where's that? Oh, man. Oh, it's email one address. No, that's OK. That's OK. So I don't know where we AV'd. We'll step through this in a second. I'm going to save this project right here. We're going to step through it later, because that's just not right. OK, configuration system. How many people know about our configuration system? Oh, man, brutal. Also known as, how many people know the DM process config XML API? OK, so I'll spend some time telling you about this, because it's just awesome. So what we wanted to do is offer people, both on Pocket PC and smartphone, a way to configure virtually everything on the device. Not like take actions, but really just configure things. Configure email, configure home screens, the phone, Bootstrap, file system registry, ActiveSync, whatever you want, through a single set of APIs. So we built this thing called a configuration system. It's got a configuration manager that can get XML from practically anywhere. It can come from the air. It can come over the wire. It can come in a cab file. You can send it in directly from your app via an API. And basically, it looks at this XML, it verifies it, and then starts farming it out to these things we call CSPs, configuration service providers. I think we have something like 28 today. And the architecture diagram, little cute boxes, basically shows you can get XML from anywhere, we'll parse it out, and we'll farm it out to all these things. And the neat thing is it's fully transacted, so if anything ever goes wrong, since we don't want to leave the phone in a hosed state, we can completely roll it back. We keep a security context for applying those settings consistent across all the settings. So if the sender doesn't have permissions to configure a certain aspect of your phone, let's say like the security policy, you certainly don't want random people configuring that, we'll abort the whole thing. So the other thing we wanted to do is expose this to managed code developers in a consistent way. Right? So you can submit XML from managed code, and from your app, configure anything on the device. And let me show you exactly how you do that. So we have, in our SDK, we have a lot of documentation. I'm going to start up a new copy of VS because we will go back to that app. Let's do a new app called myconfig. So in the SDK, we have hundreds of pages of documentations of all the CSPs and all the XML you can send to them. So we offer you the ability to either create your own XML from scratch, crafted. We have some templates in the SDK. You can load them from files. You can do whatever you want. So it's pretty flexible. We're going to need, let's say, system.xml to do some XML work. And we're going to need Microsoft.mobiledevices.configuration. Love this namespace. OK, so what I'm going to do is let's add a file to my project. Add new item, XML file. Cool. And I'm going to put some XML in it that'll configure something on the phone, and then I'll load it up. So I don't like this name. I want it my XML. Everything is about my these days. I don't get it. My this, my that. Config XML. How many people know what my VB classes thing is? Like, have you guys gone to sessions about that yet? No, and I encourage you to go to that because that's actually a cool version of my. Everything else is not that cool. So my XML. Let's do XML document. myconfig equals new XML document. myconfig.load. And look at all these overloads. Love it. I can load that XML from file. And we're going to look at the XML in a sec. Don't worry about that. So I don't remember where it gets deployed, but I think it's going to storage, program files, / I don't even remember the name of this thing. myconfig / myconfig.xml, right? And now check this out. Config manager. We're going to call the configuration manager on the device. .submit XML. My XML. Bugger. OK. Yeah. We're going to start to bring something cooler than T-shirts, man. My XML.xml. Good call. OK, so I'm going to build this, and we're going to deploy it in a second. First, we're going to look at the XML file. So what does my XML file do? This is a basic web provisioning document. It tells the device, go provision the browser favorites, so your Pocket Internet Explorer favorites. Add something called my something site, and give it this URL. So can we have the phone up here for a sec? I want to go to Pi and show you our current set of favorites. I may actually already have it on there. There we go. Let's delete that one. Cool. There's all the favorites we have in Pi. And now we're going to send this guy down. So the cool thing about the configuration system is you can literally access everything on the device. Everything is configurable via XML. And I encourage you to either use the templates we have in the SDK or create templates on your own so you don't have to handcraft all this XML by hand. We'll send this down, and you should really take a look at it. It's really spiffy. So if you want to do a support app or an app that's like a wizard to help you configure something or send settings down to your app to do something, so cool. I love this thing. And it's so trivial. One API, just XML, works across the whole device. So is this thing loading it? Cool. So VS is downloading it. We're about to run it. Did I call this the submit method? I did call this the submit method. There it is, my PDC site. So we've got a new browser favorite. You can open it up. It'll connect to the net. It works sweet. So that's all it takes to configure settings on the device. And I encourage you to open up the SDK. Go take a look at all the things we have for you to configure. Gives you rich access to every part of the system. Hey, there's Google. OK, that's enough of that. Stop looking at Google. All right, next, hardware. So how much time do we have? We've got tons of time. Platform evolution. How much time do we have? When is this supposed to be over? Does anybody know? Somebody say the time we're supposed to be done. 3:15. OK, we've got tons of time. OK, so other things we're working on, as James told you, we told you in the keynote, we're working on all these different form factors. Things from portrait, landscape, square screens, high-resolution displays, lots of different radios integrated, so devices with GSM, GPRS, and Wi-Fi, and fingerprint authentication, and Bluetooth, and location services. Everybody's hot about location. I don't know if anybody read the Gartner report, or is it Gartner? I don't remember. Somebody put out a report. Location services is going to make up for $1.5 billion industry in 2006. Something nuts. I don't know what the number is, but people love location. So what we wanted to do is make the device location-enabled, so to speak, so you can leverage all this great data in your apps. And we wanted to do it in a consistent way. We didn't want to invent a new way to do it. So we went and talked with the Longhorn team. The Longhorn team is doing tons of work on location. Go see their session. It's really good. And we basically took that same architecture and adapted it to work on Windows Mobile. Where it's basically super pluggable. You can get data from any type of provider like 802.11, GPS, Bluetooth, whatever provider that you have on the device. Doesn't matter what device it is. You have all these resolvers that can take that raw data like longitude, latitude, and go talk to some other service like Active Directory, MapPoint, whatever, to return you more human-readable data. And then we expose that from a single consistent API to an application that's a client of our location GUI. So let me show you how you can take advantage of this in your app. OK, let me close this. Does that make sense? Does anybody not know what location is? Can't imagine. Great. So let's do a new project. And we'll call it myloc. And basically, we're going to go get the location of our device. And
Can you secure things based on location?
yeah, I mean, we could spend hours talking about that. But there's going to be, I mean, especially in the Longhorn sensors, you certainly have certain types of permissions. You can't just start randomly asking. So if the device has a policy that says random apps can't get where you are unless you accept, then we'll certainly be, as we design this, we'll be certainly thinking about how to make that easy to use. What am I doing? View code. OK, so using, this time it's not Microsoft, since this is .mobile devices. This is a system namespace, system.location. Using system.location, we need so many classes in this thing. Location.extension. That's all we need. So here we're going to do, the key object you really want to talk to is the sensor. I love the sensor. The sensor, basically, you could tell it to get you an address report or any type of report, GPS report, whatever it is that you want to talk to, totally generically. It doesn't care how it's going to get this data. It'll go get it for you. And s.current location, and I'm going to ask for an address report. I love the address report. OK, so we can, let's extract the zip code out of this thing. And zip code is, let's see, address report. Let's see, report data what do you think? Postal region? That sounds like zip code, I think. .toString. Cool, there it is. That's all it takes to go extract data out of this thing. It's going to come back with lots of things like city and state and country and all that. But I just want the zip code because we can take that zip code and we can go, actually, why don't we do this right now? We've got a bit of time. I'm going to add a web reference to the weather service that we used. We actually used a different weather service in the keynote just so we don't get fired when it doesn't work. But I'm actually going to go and talk to a real weather service that's out there running on some Unisys system somewhere. And hopefully we can discover it. If we don't have network capability, then we're kind of screwed. But let's see if we can find this live web service. Well, yes, look, it found it. Cool. So we found this weather service that's running out there in the world somewhere. And now we're going to send it our zip code. So we're going to do weather services. God, I have no idea how to use this one. That looks about right. ws.weather forecast. That looks like something we want. Equals, what do you think? There's got to be something. Get weather. There it is. Zip code? Zip code. Styling. Look at that. That's all we need. So now let's do this. Check this out. Look, making all this stuff on the fly. Very useful. Microsoft, mobile devices, Pocket Outlook. I want to add this data to the home screen because that's really where you want to see your weather. So I'm going to do new, I want to do appointment, A equals new appointment. I'm going to make an all-day appointment. It's so cool. I love our platform. Shameless plug. Forecast, let's add that. So I'm going to put the temperature, forecast, what do you think? Current temperature, that looks about right. Is there a toString? Sweet. So I'm going to put the temperature right on the home screen. I'm going to set this thing to be an all-day event. Can anybody guess why? Good call. People know our devices. I love it. And then I'm going to do OK, so since I haven't done this before, I really don't know if this works. We're going to do, I'm going to try to do this. Yes, this is very, very early bits. Somebody call me if I'm doing something stupid. Where are we? This again. OK. All right, this is frightening. We're gonna actually step through this. I'm not gonna just run it. We've had enough luck with that today. OK, we'll give that a shot. So basically what we did is I went to a sensor, and really talking to the sensor is so cool because we have like 10 different types of reports you can get back, right? So you can get in whatever format you want, which is really handy. I love the address report because it's simple. I'm going to get that zip code back. I'm going to go talk to a real weather service. Now, obviously, we should have done this asynchronously. No, app in the right mind, like he's going to wait on their thread for those those live web services to come back. But for simplicity, I think we can live with the delay. But it's very easy to do this async. Let's give this. Is this guy running? Oh, it's going to. I don't think there's no UI on this thing, so it'll just show up on the home screen. There we are. Did we get a zip code? We got a zip code, so that's good. So let's. Oh, split screen. There we go. Thank you. So we got the zip code. Cool. OK, this might take a while. If it doesn't come back, I can use the proxy, the local weather service we have, and just replace it. So let's give it a few seconds. If it doesn't come back, it doesn't come back. At least we tried. Hey, look at that. Can we have the phone on the screen? Sorry, I'm going to hit F5 so you can see the appointment coming up. Check this out. Did I hit the right button? Oh, form. Silly thing. Check that out. Is that sweet or what? Man. Sorry, you had a question about the sensor?
Yeah, is that sensor something built in the phone? Is that reliant on?
Totally depends on the device. Some devices will have it built in, some won't. And when they're built in, we'll have a consistent way for you to get at them. So no matter how it's getting location, whether it's a Pocket PC with 802.11 or a smartphone with GSM triangulation, it'll all just work. So we have only a few minutes left. I'm going to blaze the last set of slides, and then we're going to take some questions. Other platform components we're investing in that are important to you guys, things like the web server. We're going to make a web server available for smartphone in the future, so not just Pocket PC. We're going to have ASP support. We'll add MSMQ support. You'll get system.messaging, which is something lots of people have been waiting for. It's really cool. You'll get SOAP Toolkit for native apps. You'll get UPnP, peer-to-peer. We'll update our MSXML parser. We're going to add Pocket Watson, which is awesome, and you all have to use this thing. Come on. Pocket Watson rocks. Does anybody use Watson on the desktop? Oh, it's like 2 people. But Pocket Watson kicks ass. You hardly have to do anything. We'll be able to report, first or second, can't remember, first or second chance exceptions out to our web servers. When you're registered with mobile to market with us, you'll be able to go see your data and how your apps are behaving in the real world. Think about the value to operators when they know they can deploy apps that can fix 50% of the bugs in them, just like this. We're really excited about this feature. Multimedia, we're going to do tons of work in this space. We want to make sure you can build really cool, powerful apps. We're going to work on DirectX, so specifically D3D Mobile, DDraw, and some portions of DShow. And you know what? Do you have a Himalaya? There's my Himalaya. Can we put this on the screen for a sec? See if this works. So we have okay. Oh, this is a Himalaya device. Or codename Himalaya, I guess. I don't even know what it's called in the real world. And this just started shipping in Europe last week. Kicks butt. Camera 640 by 480, integrated Bluetooth. It's a phone also. Beautiful display. This is my favorite Pocket PC by far. So let's go ahead and see if I think I've got it here. Check this out. I can't really see it. Hold on a second. Let's focus this guy. Got to do it some justice. So look at the lighting. Look at how, look at that lighting. Yeah, it's all dark. So basically, I don't want to write some DirectX code here for you, but imagine the ability to write really powerful 3D routines, the same you do on the desktop. Super handy. You can build some really great games or corporate applications like golf. But man, so slick. I love it. We're going to do some great work in that area, so you guys should be excited as well. Let's get the PowerPoint back up. And so we have a whole bunch of talking points on Visual Studio, Whidbey, and Compact Framework. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you just to go see this session. We've got some incredible speakers. So Seth here? Where's Seth? I saw him earlier. Guess he left.
Common executable format.
Say again?
Common executable format.
Common executable format. You're going to have to ask the Compact Framework team about that, man. God, I don't want questions I don't want to answer. Just anyways, go see the Compact Framework sessions, and let me put those on for you at the end. Where are they? There they are. So there's 2 really great sessions, one that Scott's doing, and maybe they did that yesterday. Oh, no, they're doing it today. Jamie and Scott are doing an awesome session on developing managed code apps for smartphone. Seth and Bruce are doing a great session on .NET Whidbey, and Greg is doing a session on native development for smartphone. So before we close, I just want to say a couple of little things before. Oh, look at that, the box. Oh, we've got to do the raffle thing. Okay, so that's why you guys are staying. Oh, forget that. Get out of here. I want to say that the commitment that we have to the Windows Mobile platform, like not necessarily talking about like end user features and things like that, but the platform itself, like you can't imagine how much our division is about enabling developers, ISVs, to build really great, rich applications. Like it's one thing for us to ship cool apps, but it's a whole other thing when we can leverage, like there's 400,000 professional mobile developers out there today. The types of apps that you guys can build can be so much richer, so much more powerful, so much more exciting than types of apps we could build. Our job is to make sure we give you the right APIs, the right abstraction layers, native, managed, and all the opportunities to get your apps out there. And I am personally extremely excited about all the work we're doing in this area, and I think you should be too. It's going to rock. So thanks very much, and we're going to take some questions. Awesome. Before I take questions, so people can leave, I know there's other sessions to get to. Can I have the box so I can draw out the winners of our free Pocket PCs? There's the box. Cool. Man, I know you'd much rather have some beautiful, handsome man like James draw them for you, but I'm going to do it instead.
After you gather all 10, you'll find me in the back.
Okay, so see this? Here you go.
Find me.
All right. If you're a Microsoft employee and you put this in here, you are in deep trouble. James Boyd from Northrop Grumman. Rock and roll. Wow, look who's here. Cool. Jim. No. Oh, for crying out. How many people know Jim? If you don't, you should. But yeah, don't even think about it, buddy. All right, I'll get you one. Eric Dengard? Wait, you work at Microsoft. No way, dude. You're so fired. Tom Yip from HP. Hey, you're winning a ViewSonic device to an HP guy. You gotta love the irony in that one. Thorne Burnson from VBD. Are you here? Well, hopefully you are. Or not, we're going to give your device away. There's some guy in here named Audi. You get two. Who's so Audi Parnaveja. I can't really pronounce your name. I'm terribly sorry. Christian, here. There you go. And Christian from Vienna. Wow, if you came all the way from Vienna, you definitely deserve a Pocket PC. Joseph Fang. There you go. You get one too. How many more? Mixed it up? Well, I'm drawing from the bottom. This is, and Brian Beeman from the Department of Defense. Uh-oh.
You're in trouble now.
I think we're done. Is that it? I think we have 10, unless I can't count. I promised you we're going to debug our... Is there another session in here now? Ah, bugger. So maybe we go debug outside. All right, take some questions. At the mics? How do we update? Oh, how do we update this phone? This yours? All right, you can have it back. It is totally free to get your update. Go out to our website. There's a link out to Everlink. You can download the update from the FTP with instructions. Please follow the instructions to the dot so you don't fry your device. You'll be all set. Go ahead.
How much of what you showed today in demos can be done on the phones that we can buy down
How
in the...
much of the stuff that we showed could be done on the phones that you can buy?
Okay.
As I said at the beginning, well, I mean, it kind of depends on how much effort you want to put into it. So none of these things, well, the location is a bit different, but accessing contacts, calendar, tasks, web services, they're all things that you kind of can do today, but
Okay.
it's just a lot harder. We're going to make sure that, well, in managed code, you don't really have those wrappers. We have some great code that's put up like on opennetcf.org and a whole bunch of other enthusiast sites that other people write. You could leverage that, or you can write them yourselves. But the idea is that we're going to do all that plumbing work for you right.
Okay.
Right? And we're going to have, if any of you want to be a part of our beta program, are we going to, wow. How many people want to be part of a Windows Mobile beta? All of you. Man, can I give your email address away? Can I give your email address away? WMDevBet. Can you remember that? Windows Mobile Developer Beta. WMDevBet at Microsoft.com. Send an email there, and we'll make sure next year we'll hook you up with early bits so you can see all the cool work we're doing. Question?
What support for biometrics are you planning?
Oh, 3 more. I'm sorry. Maybe you win one. Dave Yale, you get one. Jeff Jervis from HP and up again. Jeff, now you can't get two. Now you get. I'm going to subtract one. We're going to go backwards. And Dr. Neil. Dr. Neil. I like that. Cool. And we're going to pick a different guy. HP. Man. Unless you could give me an HP. And Frank, go. Frank, are you here? You got a device too. Sorry about that. You were going to ask a question.
What kind of support for biometrics are you guys planning?
So, that's a great question. So today we enable OEMs like HP to build in biometric support, and they have, I believe they actually expose it through their own, they have their own mini SDK, I think, for biometrics. Currently, we don't have a generic way for you to use to authenticate that. That's something we've thought about, but I don't have any concrete plans I could tell you, like we're going to do this set of APIs and this type of component. But it's only been on our radar. If that kind of makes sense. Go ahead.
One question to telephony. Is there any way to intercept?
Sorry, I'm going to pause you for 1 second. Please fill out your eval sessions. The only way we really, as Microsoft speakers, get invited to come to this conference is if our evals are okay. Like if we suck, they don't get us to come over and talk again. So if you don't fill out your evals, which means you think I suck, which is okay, you probably won't see me here next year. So please fill out your evals before you leave. I'll take the question.
Okay, try again.
Yes.
Is there any way to intercept a telephone call before it's done? For example, to modify the telephone number?
Great question. Is there any way to intercept the incoming phone call?
No, an outgoing.
An outgoing one.
Outgoing.
Well, incoming is cool too, so it can change.
Well, yeah. Go on.
Is there any way to to intercept somebody making a call so you can change the number? That is a fabulous question. Today, I'm not entirely sure is the truthful answer. I'm not sure. I will have to think about that. Come up to the podium, I'll write you my email address, and I'll get you an answer.
Thanks.
That's certainly an interesting feature. If we can't do that, we should think about it. Okay.
Is there going to be support for access to device resources other than data, like COM stream or something like that?
Is going to be support to access? I'm sorry, I didn't catch your question.
Like a COM port, those kinds of things, like say like a GPS plug-in device.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. We have. You can access COM ports today. We're going to add some more. Is Seth still here? We're going to add some more support for accessing ports in compact frameworks so you could access. I think we're doing serial and we're doing a couple of other things. I'm sorry, dude. Go to the compact framework talk and ask Seth Dempsey, and he'll be able to give you a precise answer.
I'd worked with it in the beta version, and it wasn't particularly easy.
Seth is the man. You should ask him. Go ahead.
This is a Pocket PC question.
Okay.
In native code, is there a single function that you can call so that the app can go online or the device can just go online instead of opening RAS, TAPI, or whatever it is?
In native or in managed?
Pure C++.
In C++. So in native code, basically, so we have a component called Connection Manager, which is all about managing. Yeah. Right. So if you make, yes, I know.
Very hard to use.
Yeah,
Very
I heard that. So Connection Manager, believe it or not, is an extremely difficult problem, especially when you're moving in and out of networks all the time.
Right.
So today, in 2003, that's really a set of APIs you have to go and go out, create a connection. In managed code, it's a little bit easier, but we still use Connection Manager under the covers.
The reason I'm asking...
Moving forward, we're investing a ton of time in Connection Manager, especially as we expect networking in general to become slightly more complex when you start treating Bluetooth connection and Wi-Fi and a device with Wi-Fi and GPRS or 1xRTT and a whole bunch of other things. So we're spending a ton of time on Connection Manager to make that experience trivial, especially for developers.
The main question why is because there is in CE OS, there is a thing with iNet Go Online, is online based functions.
With iNet?
Yeah,
sure.
But they don't exist on the Pocket PC. They're just a CE functionality.
Hey, Greg.
It exists.
There's Chi. Do we not support? I thought we not support. So the question was, can I use like the WinINet APIs?
Not just the WinINet. It's just the iNet is online, iNet stuff.
iNet is online. Do we not support that? We support that.
It's not on the Pocket PC though. You can't compile and link against it. And the second reason is the Pocket Internet Explorer has a way to do it. I mean, if you go browse to a website, it'll like load up the Connection Manager or something simplified, nice.
Pi uses Connection Manager, doesn't it? How do you detect how do you...
No, just
how do you
get the device
wants
online.
To go online not using Connection Manager?
Just go online, like one function call. Go online. I have Wi-Fi, I have Bluetooth, I have the Sprint mobile modems. Just go online. I don't want to open the modems, the applications. Many applications are network-based. Okay.
Yeah.
This should just work. Go ahead.
So again, Pocket PC related question. For the Wi-Fi, do we have any native support for 802.1x implementation? I, as a programmer, can straight away call that.
Instead of?
802.1x.
So for 802.11, do you have a native implementation?
Not 11, 802.1x, which is for authentication.
Oh,
Either PEEP
802.1x.
or TLS or Leap.
So in Pocket PC 2003, we've added support for this, and Greg would know the answer for sure. Hey, Greg, did we add support for 802.1x authentication in 03? 1x. Pocket PC? Yes. Good. The answer is yes. There you go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Question about Pocket PC. Are you going to have COM-DOM support?
Are we going to have COM?
Code-DOM support.
Oh, code DOM support. Are you asking in 2003 or in the next?
In general.
2017, yeah.
So that we can have truly distributed applications.
So you can have what?
Truly distributed applications. Right now I have to go to the server all the time.
I would ask Seth also.
Who is Seth?
Sorry. So go to the. I don't even know if that's it. You know what? Just come up to the podium. I'll give you my email address, and I'll track down somebody who can give you that.
You can. There's a mobile development booth in the Microsoft Pavilion.
Well, yeah, that's a great place to go as well.
There's
Yeah.
NCF folks down there.
They didn't know? Oh, great. It's his fault. I'll give you my card, and I'll follow up with you offline. Go ahead.
Since I didn't see WCDMA support there, what's the story on 3GPP compliance and things like video codecs such as H.263 and MPEG-4 and SVG mobile and
So we didn't talk about we didn't talk about wide CDMA. We didn't talk about Edge. We didn't talk about just pure 3G networks. For the most part, our job is to make sure we abstract all that goo away from you. So whenever an OEM wants to come along and make a device that supports any of those protocols, your app should naturally be able to work whether it's over network type A or network type B, right? Shouldn't matter. That said, we do have OEMs that are working. I mean, there's certainly CDMA devices out there. I don't have a Falcon with me, I don't think. But
I was more talking about features in the 3GPP.
Such as
MPEG-4 video, SVG mobile, things like that.
So we're working with the Windows Media team. We're working with the CE team on a bunch of efforts around encoding both for audio, video, and I can't remember so 3GPP. I'm fairly certain. Where's Chi? I'm fairly certain we've signed up for 3GPP in the next release. Did we? Yeah. And then for encoding, we will during the beta. We'll probably have a complete list of all the encoded standards we'll have in and out. It's mostly an effort of.
Well, some are required and some are optional, such as MPEG-4 video is.
Right. So I mean, ones that are required, I don't think we have too much options about. But in general, we have two options: either we do them in house or we license them from somewhere else. Right. So at beta, we should have a good enough list that'll give you an idea of which ones are coming, and hopefully the architecture we're working on is pluggable. Whether we expose it or not is a different story, but. At the very least, based on an OEM requirement or operator requirement, there'll be third-party ISVs that can provide ones that we didn't ship out of the box. There you go. Last T-shirt, sure. You asked, you get it.
Do you know anything about the Vodafone web services?
What would you like to know? There's a lot to know. There is a dedicated section on the Vodafone.
Are there specifications available? What?
So Mark Gilbert's giving it. I think Mark Gilbert's giving a session dedicated to the Vodafone work we're doing.
Okay.
I mean, we could spend the next month talking about it. There's so much good
So
going
there's
on
specs
over there.
available then?
Yeah, go ask Mark.
Okay.
He's your man. Go ahead.
Hi. You demonstrated the camera function. Is that a standardized camera API?
Is there standardized camera APIs? Today, absolutely not, which is why we're working on standardizing the camera APIs, both in native and managed. But today, there just isn't one. There weren't enough devices with a camera on them when we shipped 2003 for us to really standardize both the driver model and the API, but now there are, so we're fixing that.
Thank you.
So do we have plans for peer-to-peer on Pocket PC? APIs. So we are, the guy who runs peer-to-peer is a very close friend of mine, so we are very actively engaged on making sure we do a port of P2P over to Pocket PC and smartphone. So currently, we are working on it. Whether or not we'll ship it is a different question. But it's, I mean, think about it. What's cooler than peer-to-peer on mobile devices? It's awesome. So hopefully we'll get that shipped in. So we really haven't scoped. I mean, we haven't scoped like what we're going to pick up and what we won't. Currently, we're just taking a look at the whole, full ball of wax, and we're going to slice it up and see what makes sense, what doesn't, what we could fit in the schedule, what we can't. But we haven't made any concrete decision about what comes in and what doesn't. And it may ship as an add-on component through our SDK, not necessarily in ROM, which is just as cool. Enterprise, yeah, that's pretty cool. Sure. Sure. Yeah, I can see that. That's a cool scenario. Oh, you are? Oh, you should drop me a mail with what you're doing exactly. We could use that as a requirements doc.
When the new SDK is finished, the one you've demoed here, is that something you can just upgrade the framework on an existing device, or do you have to buy a new device?
So
What's
when
the
we release a new
upgrade path?
SDK or a new platform, can you just update the device or not?
Like an SPV, so say Orange
Sure.
SPV that's out there in the marketplace.
So from the technology standpoint, we put in a lot of work to make sure that any OEM or operator can upgrade the device whenever we release a new platform. And typically we're supporting like N-1, right? So if you have an 02, then you can upgrade to 03. If you have an 03, you'll be able to upgrade to the next one. So we make that possible on our end. And after that, it's basically an OEM and an operator decision, whether it makes sense for them to provide the upgrade. Because, I mean, they need to do driver work, they need to do support work.
They might be
need to
device
distribute it,
specific,
things
yeah,
like that.
okay.
Yeah, so some operators will certainly do it, and some probably won't, and it's totally up to them.
Okay.
We have no say in this matter.
But generally, it's going to be like maybe one version capability. So if you buy an 02 at the
hope
moment,
so.
you can upgrade to 03.
It really depends on what the market looks like at that point. So if they have
Yeah.
like a great new device that runs the new
Okay.
platform, supporting all that new stuff on older devices is not
Okay.
as cool. But
So
so,
it's-
one thing we do with the developer kit, like we're really trying to make it so you can upgrade it in the next release independent of an operator or an OEM, right?
Right, but this new technology, the stuff you're demoing today, is that an 03 generation thing, or
No,
is
no,
that
no.
actually the
03
next
is already
one?
shipped. It's out there.
Right.
This is, I think the marketing guys call this one future generation Windows mobile platform something.
Thank
But
you.
No, it's not available today. We'll do a beta sometime next year, and you guys could take a look at it. Okay. Let me just make sure that we're not supposed to get out of here. Is there another session in here now? So, it's what? So we got tons of time.